Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, I'm basically putting on my senior consultant hat, and we are going to map out exactly how future-ready institutions are adopting emerging AI technologies. You already know the landscape of scientific discovery is shifting at warp speed, but as professionals, we need to make sure our teams aren't just scrambling to keep up, but are actually positioned to lead. So think of this as a masterclass in technological foresight. It's going to be a fun, easy-to-digest look at how to properly calibrate your strategic judgment when it comes to AI. Let's dive right in. All right, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the AI research horizon, then move into calibrating your AI judgment. After that, we'll look at some real-world institutional case studies, break down the strategic adoption playbook, and finally wrap up with your AI readiness checklist. Okay, part 1, the AI research horizon. So, to build a truly future-ready institution, you have to understand the specific AI pillars that are going to fundamentally reshape our research over the next 5 to 10 years. And to frame this, let's look at a historical analogy. When electron microscopes first hit the scene, not every microbiologist adopted them successfully. Some just lacked the resources, sure. But others? They bought the shiny new equipment and literally just didn't know how to use it effectively. The institutions that won weren't the ones who simply bought the flashiest hardware. They were the ones who thoughtfully integrated the tools, built brand new skills, and fundamentally changed the questions they were asking. AI is exactly the same story. It amplifies what you already do. Now, this is where things get really wild. Multimodal AI moves us completely beyond just analyzing text. We are looking at systems that can evaluate complex phenomena across entirely different data types all at the exact same time. Just imagine a medical AI analyzing patient interviews, clinical images, and genetic data simultaneously. It's like a giant puzzle coming together. This integrated approach reveals hidden relationships that a single modality analysis would completely miss every single time. And this brilliantly illustrates the shift from AI being a passive tool to becoming an active research partner. Autonomous research agents can pursue continuous hypothesis generation at speeds that totally exceed human capability. They work 24/7, and hey, they don't even need coffee breaks. But speaking as your consultant here, I have to point out the massive governance questions this raises. If an AI agent is out there setting its own research priorities, how exactly do we handle human oversight? These are the tough questions your institution absolutely needs to be asking today. Building on those agents, we have AI-driven laboratory automation. Now, current lab robots generally just follow fixed protocols. They stubbornly execute the same steps regardless of the results. But future-ready automation uses AI to adapt on the fly. So if preliminary results suggest a hypothesis is a dud, the AI-controlled automation shifts its strategy in real time. This dramatically speeds up experimentation and completely changes the researcher's role from hands-on testing to high-level system oversight. Finally, looking a bit further out on the horizon, we have the intersection of quantum computing and AI. We are talking about using quantum computers to train AI models exponentially faster, especially for incredibly complex chemistry or optimization problems. Now, realistically, practical quantum AI systems are still probably 5 to 15 years away. But the institutions that want to lead a decade from now, they must begin building their capacity, their quantum literacy, and their tech partnerships right now. Moving on to part 2. Calibrating your AI judgment. Listen, understanding the tools is really only half the battle. We need to calibrate your judgment because there is a massive difference between a tool being actually useful and a tool just being cool. Thoughtful adoption means you always maintain a mental checklist to evaluate the specific risk of a task versus an AI's actual capability. If you don't calibrate this judgment, you're going to fall victim to classic AI hallucinations. Things like the AI generating completely fake citations or handing you completely fabricated statistics. So always test in small, controlled pilot projects first to evaluate these exact risks before you even think about scaling up. Building on that risk profile, there are some very common strategic mistakes I see institutions making all the time. Technology determinism is a huge one. That's assuming that just having the tech automatically means people will use it effectively. Betting wrong and locking your team into a single, totally inflexible vision is another trap. But honestly, perhaps the most dangerous mistake is neglecting your current capabilities or isolating your institution from tech partnerships. You absolutely need researchers who are total experts in their current methodologies before they can effectively oversee an AI system doing that exact same work. All right, part 3, real-world institutional case studies. I want to show you that this isn't just a bunch of theoretical jargon, so let's look at some actual leaders in the field. Notice the common thread across these case studies here. The chemistry lab didn't just go out, buy autonomous agents, and let them loose. No way. They piloted human-directed agents first and established incredibly strict governance for human oversight. The medical center didn't just blindly deploy multimodal AI into the clinic. They conducted feasibility studies to prove it actually predicted treatment responses better than the old methods. And the physics university, knowing quantum AI is still years away, they focused entirely on recruitment and partnerships. They are building the human foundation first. Which brings us to part 4, the strategic adoption playbook. Now that we've seen how the leaders are doing it in the real world, let's get you a concrete multi-year playbook for your own institutional implementation. Real preparation takes years. You simply cannot do this in a single quarter. So here's your 3-year roadmap. Year 1 is all about preparation. You launch small, safe pilots and rigorously educate your workforce so they actually understand the limitations of these tools. Year 2 is expansion. This is where you invest heavily in the computing infrastructure you'll need and solidify those vital external partnerships. And by year 3, you move to establish. You standardize what worked in your pilots, formalize your governance, and loudly position your institution as a forward-thinking leader in the space. Supporting that 3-year roadmap are these core pillars. And look, you cannot navigate this alone. Diversifying your bets through external partnerships is totally non-negotiable. Also, pay really close attention to workforce development and training. If autonomous agents become common, your researchers don't just need to know how to do research, they literally need to learn agent oversight. Training your people to have sharp, skeptical AI judgment is without a doubt the most critical investment you can make across all these pillars. And finally, part 5, your AI readiness checklist. To wrap up our consultation today, I've boiled all these frameworks down into a rapid-fire strategic checklist. I highly recommend you take this directly to your leadership team. First, assess your current state with radical honesty. Then, clearly define what your 3 to 5 year vision actually looks like. Ask yourselves, are we rigorously maintaining that checklist, evaluating task risk versus the AI capability in our pilots? And finally, determine exactly how you are going to measure success. Is it publications? Is it the sheer number of staff trained to spot AI failure modes? Whatever it is, define those metrics today. At the end of the day, you know the specific software interfaces and models we use are probably going to change entirely in the next 6 months. But remember this core truth. The researchers who will lead the next decade aren't the ones who simply use the most AI. They are the ones who use AI most thoughtfully. Good judgment, rigorous oversight, and just an unwavering commitment to reproducibility. Those are the skills that will endure. I'll leave you with this provocation to discuss with your peers and your teams. Which of these technologies could fundamentally alter your work, and what gap in your knowledge do you need to close right now to be ready for it? Thank you so much for joining this explainer. I really challenge you to start building those vital skills and calibrating that judgment today. I'll see you next time.